I'm awesome. I'm ready when you are for questions.
What's your offense ready?
Right now, it's right. We're ready to roll.
What kind of challenges is Southern Illinois going to bring to you guys?
Well, right now, based off last year's film, they're a lot like our defense, which means they're an odd base, odd front, which means they can three down linemen, but then they can bring blitzes from either direction. And anytime that happens, that creates problems for an offense. So for us, we're going to make sure that we got our protections right, our run game right. But just that confusion as to where guys are coming from, anytime you're really not sure, it poses a problem.
As far as the offensive line goes, Spriggs and team you were talking about the other day, how there's so much competition now. You got whether it's lift or drill or whatever. And they said they feel like that takes everybody just keeps moving up a notch. Do you see that? And how much does that help this line?
I do see that, and not only with our offensive line, I see that really with every position. And I think that's something that Coach Wilson started when he first got here, and he said the best players have to work the hardest and are going to work the hardest. And I'm telling you what, if you can watch Dan Feeney at every rep at practice, no one goes harder than he does. And when Jason Spriggs sees that, that takes his game to another level. And now we have some outstanding young freshman offensive linemen, and now they have the pleasure of watching two of the best offensive linemen that we've had in our time here. They get the pleasure of watching them work every single day, and that's just going to breed itself. That's just going to take off and snowball. And now we have the effort and the work ethic, the mental of watching film, everything that it takes to be a great player. Those young guys are seeing it at a high level. So not only is it with the O-line, I think it's with a lot of positions, but it certainly helps when your best players work the hardest.
Progress have you seen from Sidney Cobbs in spring and then coming in?
You know, I thought Simi had a phenomenal spring, way better than he was in the fall. But then I really felt like he started fall camp just like another guy. In my opinion, he didn't really start at a high level. He's since come on in the last week. I think that he watched his play on film from early in the fall camp, wasn't very happy with what he saw on tape. And I really see a different guy now. I see the same guy that I saw in the spring. I know Nate Sudfeld has a ton of confidence in him. I do as well. I know what he's capable of doing. So hoping for big things this year.
People, as a senior quarterback, people have talked about the resurrection of the passing game from last year. But you've got a really veteran offensive line, a good tight end group, and big backs. I mean, have you thought about working in a power running component with this too?
Well, you know, I don't know if we're going to throw it every single down, if we're going to run it every single down. And Coach Wilson has taught me this too, that you have to have tremendous balance. And you have to be able to exploit what the defense is giving you. And so, you know, a year ago in our opener, we ran for 400 yards. Well, they were giving us some runs, so we ran it. That didn't mean that there's anything wrong with our passing game. And vice versa. If we have to throw it every down Saturday, we will, if that's what it takes to win the game. To me, I feel extremely balanced right now. I think we have an offensive line that's going to allow us to run the ball. I think we have tight ends, more depth at tight end than we've ever had. I feel great about pass protection if we need to throw the ball. Love the receivers that we have, love the young wideouts. So to me, going into it, I feel pretty balanced, to be honest with you, that we need to exploit what the defense is going to give us and then try to make big plays from there.
How optimistic are you in terms of the connection between Nate and the receivers, the rhythm, the timing? How optimistic are you?
I feel very optimistic, and I feel that way because I'm pretty sure Nate Sudfeld feels that way. You know, he's been working with these guys for a long time. Ricky Jones has been outstanding. And again, I ask Nate a lot, and Diamont and Danny, all those guys, who do you trust? Who do you like? Because at the end of the day, those are the guys throwing the stop routes and the slant routes and the curl routes on third down when it matters. And so I want to make sure I have the guys out there that they feel good with. And to my knowledge, we got great chemistry all across the board. We do have some young guys in the mix, which anytime you bring in some freshmen and you expect them to play, there's going to be some learning on the run. But right now I feel tremendous about where our guys are and the work they've done.
Nate specifically, it's sort of a loaded question, but what's different about him just as you go through every day with him, meetings, practice, whatever, maybe the way he carries himself, the way he communicates, whatever it is. What's different about him now as opposed to any of the last 3 years?
To me, there's no doubt about it. It's a sense of urgency. It's the fact that I'm running out of time. I lost half of my junior season, and now I have 12 guaranteed games left. So to me, you know, and we had the opportunity to go watch the New Orleans Saints practice early on before our camp started, and just to watch Drew Brees work was extremely impressive. Just the urgency and how every single rep was so important to him. And I'm really seeing that with Nate at a different level than I've ever seen it before. I'm not saying he's at Drew Brees' level. I'm just saying he's way better than he's ever been. His freshman year, I used to challenge him all the time, really freshman, sophomore year, that I'm not sure you can keep your focus for 2 straight hours on the practice field or for an hour and a half, whatever it was. His junior, senior year, especially now, he's getting better at, man, every warm-up pass, every warm-up fade, every slant that I throw, if it's not perfect, I can see him being hard on himself and just demanding that perfection.
In a way, he's missing half of that season last year. Now he's back on the field, he's healthy and everything. Did it mature him or make him realize this is something that I'm going to miss and I have to work harder for?
No doubt. I think that's a positive in the injury from a year ago, that now it's you can't take things for granted. You never know when your last play is going to be, and he was really close to experiencing that firsthand.
Coach said that Marquis Hawkins has been kind of working as a dual threat running back receiver type. What led to that change for him, and what have you seen from this month? Just
a bigger body, a guy that can do some different things. Can he be a fly sweep guy? Can he be a protector? Can he go out and run a fade ball? Just we're trying to utilize and find the best way for him to fill the role in our offense.
Another specific guy, Ricky Jones, a guy that you saw in the slot when he was younger. Now he's working outside. What's different about a smaller guy out there? What does he bring? What's, I guess just what's different about utilizing a guy with his skill set as opposed to, the bigger guys you've had in the past?
Yeah, and I think when you look at Ricky's stature, he is a bigger, thicker body, and he's really the strongest wideout that we have. So I don't know that he's Shane Wynn small. I don't feel like that I'm taking a 180-pound guy and putting him outside. Ricky can certainly hold his own. He's an outstanding route runner, and I think more than anything else, he's developed some really strong hands that. And I mean, Cody Latimer strong, where if you throw him the ball in a slant on 3rd down, he's going to make the grab and he's going to hang on to it, which, again, from a quarterback and a play caller standpoint, is critical. You feel good about calling that guy's number in a big-time situation.
What about the running backs? What you've seen from them? You have big bodies back there, but what have you seen?
We do. We have 2 big bodies. We have 2 guys in Jordan Howard and Devine that we feel can interchange and can roll. I'm really pleased with Jordan Howard, just how he's picked everything up. He's just such a natural, has such a natural knack of making the zone cut, of seeing the blocking scheme unfold. Really good receiver coming out of the backfield. And I really think the presence of Jordan Howard has taken Devine Redding's game to another level as well. Really going back to the competition question we talked about a little bit ago, that I think Devine realizes, listen, this guy's pretty good, and I need to take my game to another level as well.
Saying that he'll throw a pass and then Jordan will be running alongside him, yelling, "Good read, good read."
Yep.
So he's a kid that understands the game.
He really does. And he doesn't say a lot, and so he's a very unassuming young man. But he's picked up everything that we've asked him to do. He hasn't had any mental bust this whole fall camp. Very pleased with where he is, and I'm excited to see what he can do this year. To utilize the backs? I think where it fits. I don't see major changes in things we've done in the past, but anytime that you can get your backs to flare out and stretch the field horizontally, it certainly helps you quite a bit. So wherever it fits, we will. Good. Thanks, guys.